Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radhe Radhe Govinda Govinda Radhe 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 Govinda Govinda Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Govinda Radhe Gopal Radhe Jaya Jagannath Swami Jaya Jagannath Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jai Gaura Hari Bol Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Yoga Pavana Harinama Sankirtana Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantrat Srimad Bhagavatam Ki
Hare Krishna. So we welcome all ISKCON Sarjapur Road devotees to our very, very special, super special Saturday evening program. So it's our great fortune that we have His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu with us this evening. In fact, that's why we are having this special program on Saturday. So as such, Prabhuji is a very, very senior Vaishnava in our movement in ISKCON. And he is a very eminent personality within ISKCON and even outside. And Prabhuji needs no introduction, but some of you, since you have been starting to come, to our programs within the last 1 year, probably some of you may not have known Prabhuji or seen Prabhuji. So therefore, I'll take this opportunity to very quickly introduce Prabhuji. So His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu is a very, very senior monk in ISKCON. He joined Brahmachari Ashram. He was introduced to ISKCON in 1991, and later he got initiated by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj in 1993. Prabhuji decided to dedicate his life and join as a brahmachari in ISKCON Chowpatty in Mumbai in 1994. After which in 95, Prabhuji was sent to ISKCON Pune. And since 97, Prabhuji has been serving in the capacity of President of ISKCON Pune. And since 2012, when NVCC came up, Prabhuji has been serving as the President of ISKCON Pune. And from recently, Prabhuji also is serving as one of the co-presidents of ISKCON Abits Hyderabad. And Prabhuji has a lot of responsibilities in ISKCON movement globally as well. Prabhuji is a global duty officer for youth preaching in the West. And also Prabhuji is the regional secretary to GBC in the western part of the country. And Prabhuji also has received the Global Excellence Award for educating youth in Bhagavad Gita and Jiva Goswami Award winner for innovative youth outreach. In fact, Prabhuji has been one of the leading youth preachers in the world, and his innovative youth preaching strategies and his dedication and commitment to Srila Prabhupada has inspired many souls to surrender their life unto the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. In fact, Prabhuji has, under Prabhuji's guidance and leadership, ISKCON Pune has sent over time more than 200 brahmacharis to various ISKCON temples like Kolkata, Kanpur, Varanasi, Prayagraj, Juhu, Thane, Bangalore, Hyderabad, and so on and so forth. So it is our great fortune. In fact, I would just like to take one more minute and share some more things. So Prabhuji happens to be the spiritual mentor of both myself and His Grace Raj Krishna Prabhu, and whatever we are in Krishna consciousness today, of course, I am nothing, but whatever Raj Krishna Prabhu is, is actually because of the mercy, the empowerment, the guidance, the blessings, and association of His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. So I met Prabhuji first in 2001 when he came to IIT Kharagpur, and I'm seeing since then, how Prabhuji is an amazing example of purity, integrity, and leading, devotees worldwide very wonderfully with his dedication and commitment to Srila Prabhupada and expanding the movement of ISKCON. So, and actually Prabhuji is very sought after, across all the big temples of ISKCON all over the world. And here he is, in our small, humble center. So actually, it is our immense fortune. Many of us may not actually realize, that what does it mean to get Radheshyam Prabhu to our center. As I said, he is sought after in many big temples all over the world. And this place is not even a temple. It's like a small center. So I only request all of you to understand our immense fortune that we have His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu with us here today. And let us all loudly chant 3 times Hari Bol and welcome Prabhuji. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So Prabhuji, this is our small ISKCON Sarjapur Road congregation. Right now we have devotees ranging from chanting 4 rounds to 16 rounds. Some have come last year in our Bhagavad Gita courses. Some are practicing since 4 years, 5 years. So it's like a whole congregation here in front of you.
Very good. Hare Krishna. This congregation is so enthusiastic that I heard the last Haribol from a child now. Haribol! Somebody is saying. So, Lord says, Yatra Gayanti Madhbhakta Tatta Tisthami Narada, he says. Lord says, although people say I am in Vaikuntha or in the hearts of yogis, more than those 2 places, my favorite place is a place which is Sarjapur, Lord says. Because devotees we were in the road coming in the car, we could hear your kirtan at the end of the lane. Lord Kirtan. So, so my Guru Maharaj used to say, a temple is not made of bricks and stones. The temple is made of devotees. So if you have devotees, temple is already invisibly present here. It is just going to manifest. So first he used to say, make the devotee. Pune also, first we worked on making devotees. When devotees are there, and then temple Lord will manifest. Because Lord says, hey, so many devotees want to serve me, I have to manifest now. Then the Lord will descend and He will accept the services. Some Matajis want to cook for the deity, some of them want to make garland, some Prabhujis want to worship and distribute books. When devotional activities expand in a big way, then the Lord feels that I should appear now, so that these devotees can experience the spiritual world right here. So, therefore, what you are all embarking on is a very good journey, both Vraja Krishna Prabhu and Vyasacharya Prabhu. Vyasacharya was a very enthusiastic trainer. He had actually, I had sent him to Kanpur so that he can go quarterly to Kanpur and train many grihasthas there. So whenever I go to Kanpur, people first talk about him. Prabhuji, please, when are you going to send him next time? So, and also in Pune, he has a lot of friends from IIT Kharagpur, many of his friends. So, although he is living in Bangalore here, he is present in multiple places by his inspiration and connection. And Brajakrishna Prabhu also, he was one of the senior most devotees I sent from Pune to Bangalore with some more other devotees, and he has expanded so beautifully in Seshadripuram ISKCON temple. Very nicely. Both youth preaching, congregation preaching, Bhakti Shastri classes. And any program becomes very powerful when there is one brahmachari and one grihastha couple together. Both have their own relative strengths, respective strengths. Like myself and one Jaydev Prabhu Satyavati Mataji, we connected in Pune. For 14 years I was going for a program. From that we got some 20-25 counselors we got from that program. Similarly, here also I feel Brajakrishna Prabhu and Vyasa Sarjapur was a good team, and he is good. Vyasa Sarjapur's good wife also. Uh, Very, very wonderful team. I'm sure this program is going to generate many, many leaders, many, many mentors in future, who will follow in the footsteps of these devotees and expand preaching more and more. It'll happen now eventually. Hare Krishna. You all can repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So I have one great ambition, which I hope and pray it will eventually manifest in Pune and Hyderabad. I'm going to try that. It's called as Bhagavata Dharma Charak Sangha. It is BDPS. So currently I'm working on that. What is it? In this, there are going to be pracharaks, preachers, who will especially propagate Bhagavata Dharma. I will tell you what is Bhagavata Dharma and how is it different from what people generally call as Dharma. See, the word Dharma means that which is innately present in a substance. For example, water is innately liquid. If water is solid like ice, you keep the ice in the atmosphere, it will become water eventually. You will see that. Or if the water has become steam, you open the cooker, what happens with steam? Immediately it condenses water. So what is the dharma of water? Liquidity. Similarly, what is dharma of sugar? Yeah. In those days, in the kitchen, there used to be another substance which will look like sugar. Anybody knows the name? What is that? What do you call that? No, mystery is also sweet. That's, huh? Which will be a little, yeah, it will be a little saltish, but in look, it will look like sugar. And it will look like sugar. Very similar it will look. But by mistake, if you put that in your milk and say, will it be sweet? It won't be, because it is sour in taste, although it looks like sugar. But you all know, sugar means it has to be sweet. Salt means it must be saltish. Rasagulla must be soft. Otherwise, he said, it's not Rasagulla, it's Rascal Gulla. Once Sankarshan Sadhikari Prabhu said that. If Rasagulla is not soft, it is not Rasagulla, it's Rascal Gulla, he said. That means it's not fit for eating, he was telling. So, shine means, sunshine. Consciousness means Krishna consciousness. So, similarly, when we talk about dharma, dharma means that which is innately present. So, if you look at all the living beings in this world, let us go from the bottom. If you see horses, they take, people on their back. You will see that. Similarly, donkeys, they carry weight. Dog, they protect the house. Cow gives milk. Bull tills the land. You see, and pussycat keeps the rats away. Isn't it? So you will see that every one of them is rendering some service to human beings. So these are all domestic animals who don't want to live in forest. They want to live in a city or village in the midst of human beings. And they derive benefit by serving humans. Because humans maintain them, and they are also rendering service. You will see that. So above all these animals, as human being is receiving service, you will see that. But he also is not rendering service. You will see that, a mother who begets a child has to render service to the child. Similarly, men who are working in the office has to please the boss, serve the boss. you will see that the service is so natural. For wherever there is living form, you will see there is some service going on, there is some love involved. So it is innately present. But what happens is, there is one very famous poem by Rabindranath Tagore. In that he said, where the world is free from fear, where the knowledge is free. Then he says, where the world is not divided into narrow domestic walls by fragmental parts. Like that he writes in that poem. What he means is, he started the Shantiniketan, for the children. He said that in the world, all human beings have a very similar nature. But he says that we have divided the world into fragmental parts and we are quarreling unnecessarily with one another. So that quarreling is due to compartmentalization, he was telling. For example, first I love only my mother, then I love my mother and father, then I love my brother and sister also, then I love my family, isn't it? People are very fond of their own family. You know the word family? Family means father and mother. I love you. That is called Family. Yeah. So I love my mother, my father. And we don't care about anything about others' mother and father. Everybody may talk about whose mother and father? Their own mother and father. Because that's the family you identify with. But as your consciousness expands, then you broaden it to people who speak your language. Isn't it? If somebody speaks Kannada in America, how will you feel? Oh, you're also from Karnataka, isn't it? You feel very attracted. So then by language, we feel some bonding because of that. And then when you go to different parts of India, now how many of you are from other than Karnataka here? Many are there. Good number of them, isn't it? Even he's from North India, isn't it? So then that way we understand that it's not that only one state people are good. Even Mera Bharat Mahan. All people in Bharat are good. People are in all places spread out now. But then when you leave India and go abroad, you see there are good human beings everywhere. So you can get to see. So in this way, our consciousness becomes a little more broader and broader, correct? No? So now coming to the important point, there are dharmas which are compartmentalized dharmas. For example, there is Matra Dharma, there is Pitra Dharma, there is Jati Dharma, there is Kula Dharma, there is Varna Dharma, Ashrama Dharma, like that. So somebody says, I am Desh Bhakt, correct, no? Because they think they belong to that particular Desh. Of course, you belong to a Desh, but only in this life. Next life will belong to another Desh. Similarly, now you belong to one family, later you belong to another family. But there is also smaller compartmentalized dharmas. And there is a bigger dharma. I heard a little story. Once some frogs were living in central India. And one time they found there was a scarcity of water in that place. So they all decided to leave to different places. Some of them said, I'm going to North India. Some said, I'm going to South India. Somebody said, I go to East India and West India. Just like all of you come from different places here. Bangalore. Because Bangalore is, I think, one of the IT hubs. Main is the California of the East, isn't it? So Bangalore and Hyderabad are places where people all over the country are there, isn't it? Like that, the frogs also went to different places. North, west, south. But then those frogs in north said, hey, you are coming from another place. In our place, everybody is supposed to be, green frog. Only then we will keep you. So they painted all the frogs green so that they will look like them only. Yeah. And then those who went east, those frogs said, hey, those who come here, they all have to be painted pink. So we look pink, you have to look pink also. If you don't, then we will paint you as pink. They said, okay, it's all right. So they painted them pink. And the frogs which went to western side, they said, oh, you are supposed to look yellow. You are looking brown, you are looking different color. So they painted them all yellow like that. And those who went to south, they said, hey, you are supposed to look blue. Why you are not looking blue? So they painted them all blue. Anyway, these frogs somehow survived living with them in those places. Suddenly they got a good news that in our central India again, there were heavy rains and big reservoirs of water now in our native place. They decided instead of living in these places, let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to our native place. So they all decided. Now there was a problem. When they all came, they were all looking different. Hey, you are looking blue, you are looking yellow, hey, you are looking green. You are looking, what is the fourth one? Brown, isn't it? Hey, you look different. They started quarreling with one another. They were fighting, punching one another. Earlier they were all very good friends. But now as they were fighting, there was a heavy rain shower and all the colors went off. Then they realized, hey, we all have similar bodies. These colors are superficial. Now what do you learn from this story? Just as when the colors were washed off, they saw similarity in one another. Similarly, when one comes to the platform of soul, Pandita, you understand. Oh, the soul in the body of a, elephant or a cow, or a dog, or even a dog eater, or a Brahmana. In all these bodies, same type of soul is present. So this is very important to see. Say somebody is driving a truck, a big truck. He's very proud. I am driving a truck with 24 wheels. You've seen that? Slowly it goes in Pune. What do you call that? Trailer, big trailer. He's taking. And he finds one Luna on the side of the road. He thinks, hey, this Luna is, look at this guy. He looks like an ant. Can he just hit him? Just because he's small? So you take out the Luna driver and this trailer driver and aeroplane driver, make them stand. They will look Pandita Samadarshana. All three will look similar. Because they are same type of driver is driving different vehicles. Similarly, in all the bodies, whether in an ant's body. How many of you have seen when you take a book, old book, some one dot-like creature moves? You've seen that? That means there is also soul in it. And then there is also a huge elephant you have seen. Some elephants are this, ceiling size tall. They move their trunk. Very large, isn't it? Big ears also, they move like this. You've seen that? You walk on the road, isn't it? And in their body also there is. So soul, whether it is a small, tiny, dot-like body or a huge body, the same type of soul is present. The driver is driving that body. Niyamak. Without that operator of this body, the body cannot function. So now when you talk about the body has certain dharma. For example, the dharma of the bird is to fly in the sky, and elephant has to walk on the land, and fish has to live in water. So they all have their material dharma, which is limiting according to their bodies. Like you can live on land, but you can't live in water. Of course, you go for swimming to water, but can you live in water? Anybody would like to live for 2 months in water? No. But who lives always? Fish, yeah. So when you look at the body, their bodily dharma is that they live in water. We live on land. Birds like to live on sky, isn't it? But when you take the soul, all the souls have one dharma, and that dharma is called what? Bhagavata Dharma. So I will explain a little bit about this Bhagavata Dharma. It's very important. You see, in this world, it's very easy to know the difference between divine and demoniac. Correct, no? Those who are following the path of divine and those following the path of demoniac, because they are diametrically opposite. So, Vishnu Bhakta Smrito Daiva Asuras Tad Viparyayaha, it is said. Those who are Vishnu Bhaktas, they follow the path of Vishnu. And the others who oppose the path of Vishnu, they are called Asuras. So in the dawn of creation, both Indra also went, and one of the Asuras leader also went to the ashram of Guru. So the Guru, while they were leaving the ashram, told them that meditate on all the teachings that I taught you and live by those instructions. So they both agreed. So the Asura went back to his place, and then he looked into the mirror and he asked, Guru said, you should always remember who am I and act accordingly. So he looked into the mirror and said, who am I? And then he looked, oh, I have a beautiful mustache. I have beautiful horn. I think, who am I? I am this. So he thought, I am this body. So that's why he lived according to bodily dharma. That means bodily dharma means what? Whatever my body demands, you fulfill it. Asu means immediate. Ra means Raman. Asu, Ra means what? Instinctively, whatever you get pushings in your body, you act instantly. Somebody is getting a lusty push, immediately he will catch anybody who is available, like Ravana caught any woman. And similarly, somebody is angry, instinctively he will slap or beat anybody. Sometimes in trains and buses also you see somebody catches the collar and part. Some people are aggressive people. First they'll beat and then ask you why you did. I was telling, first you ask, and if you are still angry, you can beat. In some people's aggression is such, first they beat and Now, that's what I will ask you, why did you beat me now? Okay, now I'll tell you why I beat you. Now you tell me why you did this. So this is act instinctively. Instinctively means without thinking, without bringing your mind in. So similarly, so in this way, Asura means instant pleasure they go for. And on the other hand, Devata means think twice before you speak. Think twice before you act. Look before you leap. This is Devata. Like Devatas drink milk of the cow. Asuras slit the throat of the cow. It's just the opposite tendency. Similarly, you'll see the Devatas actually follow the path of Sattva. Asuras follow the path of Rajoguna and Tamaguna. So you can very easily know the difference. If you want to remember who are the Devatas, I will tell you one very easy formula. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. You can remember. A for absolute truth. They worship Krishna. B for Brahmanas. They follow the guidance of the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. C for cow protection. Goraksha they will do. And D for Devatas, they accept all the Devatas as assisting limbs of the Lord. 33 crore Devatas. All the Devatas are all Narayana Paraveda Deva Narayanangaja. Bhagavatam says that. All the Devatas are assisting limbs of the Lord. Everyone is doing different service in this world. There is a, electricity department, which is like heat and electricity is Surya. Water department is? Yeah. And air department is Vayu, isn't it? Education department, Saraswati. Isn't it like that? There are various departments. All are just like our Prime Minister of India has various departments, various chief ministers. So they understand, so they worship, they respect the Devatas. D for Devatas. And E means etiquettes and behavior. How to deal with superiors, how to deal with juniors, how to deal with equals, how to deal with animals, how to deal with nature, how one to deal with parents and guests and everything. Etiquettes and behavior. They know proper etiquettes, respectful, welcoming a guest and treating them properly. And F means flee to the lotus feet of Vishnu. As soon as there is any danger, you will see. Om tat Vishnum paramam padam sada pashyanti suryaha diviva chakshuratatam vipraso vipanyavo jagravam samindate. This verse is from Rigveda. It says that the Devata's nature is, as soon as there is any type of danger, because of their piety, their nature is to run to the lotus feet of Vishnu. How many of you know that all Devatas go to Brahma and Brahma takes them to the Dugdha Sagar, milk ocean, and they all pray to Lord Vishnu? How many of you heard that? Correct? Yeah. So they will always go to Vishnu. But if you are not pious, as soon as there is trouble, you will take the charge of your life yourself and you'll break somebody's tooth. Because you will say that I will sort it out myself. Isn't it? Without going to Lord Vishnu, what to do? That is F. And G means goodness. Devatas live life on the platform of sattva. Goodness. So goodness means what? Shamad damat tapashchaucham kshantirarjam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svabhajam, which means shama, dama. Dama means controlling senses. Shama means controlling the mind. And performing pure austerities for pleasing the Lord. And cleanliness. And tolerance and forgiveness. Simplicity. Like that many qualities are sattva qualities. They follow these qualities. And then Hach for holy name. Devatas always praise the Lord and glorify the holy name. One time, Mother Parvati got a mango somebody gave her. And she had only one mango. So she called Kartikeya and Ganesha and said, my dear sons, I want to give mango to both of you, but I only have one. So whoever qualifies for this mango, you will get it. And they both said, what is the condition? She said, you have to circumambulate the whole world and come, then you will get the mango. Immediately, Kartikeya, in the evening only, he made the peacock ready. Because peacock is his vahan, no? Next day, early morning, he left. He started going. Without talking to anybody, he set rolling immediately. He thought by evening I should be back. And Ganesha was wondering, I have a mushik. Mushik means the small mouse. And this is not known for running fast. Actually, mouse is slower than rat also. I don't think I'll be able to catch up with my brother. Although I'm elder brother, in speed my younger brother is more faster. He has a better vehicle than me. Huh? So what do I do? I'm confused. So then Ganesha said to himself, whenever we are confused, what we should do? We should go to the Guruji, huh? And ask Guru. Even Arjuna was confused. He consulted Krishna. So let me consult our family Guru. Whose family Guru? Naradji. So he went to Narada. Huh? And he asked Narada, oh sir, please tell me tomorrow morning I'm supposed to, go around the world and come. Mother has given us a task. What do I do? Narada said, okay, I will give you an idea. Wait a minute. So Narada took one leaf and wrote something and wrapped it in a silken cloth and gave it to him and said, Ganesha, go back to your parents. Tomorrow morning when you get up, take a bath and then go circumambulate your parents 3 times and give this to your mother and you will get the mango, he said. That's all. He said, yeah, that's all. So, and Ganesha said, although I cannot reason out what you are saying is true or not, but I have full faith in you. He said, why? Because when there were 2 kids, hmm, one kid was about to touch fire. He said, hey, come, let's go to kitchen. You know the blue light in the gas stove? It looks like a flower, no? Child said, I it looks like a flower. Can we touch it? Other said, I think don't touch it. Because it will be hot. It will burn your finger. Then this other kid asked, have you ever touched it? He said, no. He said, then how are you saying it? Because mom told, he said. Papa told, mom told, he said. So he said, how do you know what mom told is true? He said, oh, what mom told must be true because mom is my well-wisher. Mom will never think anything bad for me. So I fully trust the word of mom, so I will not touch it, he said. So Prabhupada quotes this example that we don't have to know everything in this world. But if we have full trust in a person who is enlightened, like a spiritual master and acharyas, then you are safe. So Ganesh also said, I don't know, you have given me something wrapped in a silken cloth, I'll give it to mother and I'll circumambulate parents 3 times. As you said, sir, I will do that. I may get the mango because you have assured me, you are the Guru. You are enlightened one and we are not so. So I will follow what you said. So he went back. Next day morning, when Kartikeya was busy going around the world, Ganesha gave it to his mother and circumambulated 3 times. Shiva Parvati both were pleased with his behavior. Mother opened and saw, and that was a sheet in which Rama was written. Holy name was written. Immediately Parvati touched it to her forehead and she gave it to Shiva. Shiva saw the name. Oh, Shiva also touched his forehead. Shri Rama Rama Rame Tame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane. Shiva says this when Parvati asked. One day Parvati asked this question to Lord Shiva. Kenopaya Nalguna Vishnu Nama Sahastakam Patitay Panditay Nityam Shrotumicham Yaham Prabho. All the Panditas are reading the Sahasranama Stotram. But it is so exhaustive. It takes a long time. Probably 40 minutes or 1 hour it may take. Can you make a presi of this? Laguna means make it, small, brief. And can you give me a smaller version of this Sahasranama? And Shiva said, no problem. We can easily do that. How? Just chant Sri Ram 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 3 times. Ram's name 3 times you chant. It's equivalent to chanting Vishnu Sahasranama, he said. So both Parvati and Shiva are conversant with Ram Nam. When they got it, they both touched it to their forehead with great reverence. At evening, when Kartikeya reached over, now he parked his peacock and then he came. Mother, completed full round. Whole earth, what do you say now? Where is my elder brother Ganesha? And he asked Ganesh, what have you done? So the Ganesh also came. They both came. Mother said, Kartikeya, you are very competent. You are great in competence, but your brother has great character. What is it? See, he knew that whenever anything great has to be done, first you should seek blessings. You should not embark on any project without seeking blessings. You know Hanuman, when he had to embark on the tough project of finding Sita. Actually, if you read Ramayana, you'll be shocked because in Ramayana it is mentioned Sugriva sent Vanaras to all the nook and corner of the universe. In fact, he told Lord Ramachandra, in north what exists, in east what exists, in south what exists, and in all different directions, in much detail. So recently some scientific discoveries have proved what is there in Ramayana. Certain details, even those regions are getting excavated now. They're saying those details are there. Some of those places, they haven't excavated, they won't be able to fathom the whole detail in Ramayana. But certain places which were unknown before are becoming known now. And exactly those details are matching to the modern discoveries. So Lord Rama was surprised. He asked Sugriva, hey, you live in Kishkinda. How do you know all these places? He said, when Vali chased after me, I have run to all these places. Everywhere. That's how I am aware of all these places. So, after that, when Hanuman was sent to the south, Hanuman, he climbed up the Mahendra Parvat. And what did he do first? First, he prayed. He prayed to Lord Rama, who is the Lord of his life. He prayed to Vayu, who is his father. He prayed to Surya Dev, who is his Guru. He prayed to all of them. And then he told all of them, I am trying to find out Sita. I'm not sure whether I'll be able to find her or not. But what is not possible humanly by me, but that is possible by prayer to you. Because prayer is different between what man can do and what God can do. So this prayer will compensate for my deficiencies. So I'm praying to. So as soon as he prayed, immediately everyone, the great superiors became pleased and they blessed Hanuman. Zoom, like that Hanuman left the Mahendra Parvat. And it is said he jumped like a Ramaban, it is said. Why he jumped like a Ramaban? It said Ramaban is released from Rama's bow. And because Hanuman was a perfect representative of Rama, therefore he is called as a Ramaban. So when he reached Lanka, when Ravana asked, hey, monkey, who are you? He said, Dasoham Kaushalendrasya. He said, I am servant of Rama, he said. So he was always in that consciousness. He achieved perfection, isn't it? So mother told him, Beta, you see, I gave you, both of you, a very difficult task, but your brother is intelligent because he went to Narada. And Narada gave him the holy name which he brought. And she showed, just see, in the leave written by the Guru. Guru has awarded him the holy name. And he has, by accepting the holy name from the Guru, he has accepted Lord in his heart. By going and bowing down to Guru, he has shown respect to our family priest, family Guru, which is Narada, who is our spiritual guide. And by circumambulating the mother and father, he has shown respect to the parents. So these four are the most important people in your life. Your mother, your father, your Guru, and God. He has respected all the four. This is more than circumambulating the world a million times. Therefore, he will get the man. She said, and she told Kartika, you are right, but your brother is practically right. So, of course, our Kartika became a little upset. What is this? I went around the world and she didn't give me. So he became a little morose and he said, I'm going to South India to a place called Padani. Padamni Yappa, there is a song. Padam means for fruit, Ni means you. So he said, because you didn't give me fruit, I'm going away. She said, hey, my dear child, my darling, you are yourself like a mango fruit. Sit with me, don't go away, like that she was telling. Still Karthikeya went there. Of course, later on Parvati Shiva made visits to Padani just to see that child. But the point is what? Here, our Narada wrote that Ramanaman gave in this thing. It looks like a simple leaf in which Ramanam is written and given. But it's not ordinary. Because the name, although it looks simple, it has the entire spiritual world containing within it. So scriptures say that. Let us see how we will understand it. You see, the sound vibration that we hear, there are two types of sound vibration. Material sound, spiritual sound. For example, is there any civil engineer here? Anybody? So, if you take a civil engineer, all the civil engineering knowledge like structural engineering, everything is put in the book. Is it not true? And when you read through the book and understand the book, later on this fellow, when he becomes structural engineer, he may make a bridge. Or he may make a 20-story, 30-story building. That means the sound vibration which is recorded in the book is converting it into, a practical reality. Correct? No? Similarly, I studied mechanical engineering. Later on, I was working in shop floors for some time. Later on, I went to machine design, computer programming later on. So, Those who have studied a particular field of engineering, that knowledge is in a theory format which enters your head, you understand it, and then you transform it into practical reality. You will see that. Huh? So therefore, you will see there is a material sound, there is spiritual sound. So the sound vibration contains all the other practical things that come out of it. You will see that. So in the same manner, there is one Vedanta Sutra verse which says, Anavrittihi Shabda, it says. This whole material world started with the vibration of the Om, because one of the names of Krishna is also Om. Om ityekaksharam brahma vyahananma manusmaran yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayah. That's one verse he says. Another verse says, Pranava sarva vedeshu shabdakhe paurusham rishu. He says that I am the Pranava in all the Vedas. He says, I am the Om in all the Vedas. Now, when that Om is uttered, it creates vibrations. And that vibration sets the motion happening in this world. And that is how all the worlds have expanded. And then at a certain point of time, there is a pradhan which is consolidated matter in the subtlest form where there are no gunas also. But that pradhan turns into Mahatattva Prakriti. Those changes take place in it, and then the material world has been unfolded. Just like in the night, you put a chatai, you unfold it. Morning, you fold it. Similarly, by a material sound, you can expand the material creation. But by spiritual sound, you can wind up the material creation and go back to God. For example, there are three Shaktis, we call as Dravya Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. So what is Dravya Shakti? Conglomeration of matter. It's called Dravya Shakti. And Kriya Shakti means passion that sets things rolling. And Jnana Shakti means it's knowledge. Now, for example, you can use the Jnana Shakti for two purposes. Either you can uh, use the knowledge for taking the conglomeration of matter and converting into big flyovers, and or big tall skyscraper towers, or you can make big, what do you call it, metro lines and things like that. So now when you go to any city which is bustling with activities, these are all the Kriya Shakti, the Jnana Shakti connecting with Kriya Shakti and expanding matter. So with your Jnana, you can expand matter, or with your Jnana, you can actually engage that Jnana in what do you call it? Making a big temple for God. Correct, no? Or you can go back to Godhead. So in this world, you will see 99% of the living entities are using their knowledge for expanding material consciousness. You will see that. Hmm? So, but there is also another knowledge which is called Paravidya, by which one can expand spiritual. Like Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, was there any ISKCON? No. First he went to New York, then he expanded it to San Francisco, then Los Angeles, then he went to Russia, then he went to Canada, went to Australia. Now he established 108 centers. Now there are 1,000 centers now. And there are big, big temples now. Radhakshana deities is installed, Gaunatha deities installed, and thousands of devotees. One day he was sitting in a park bench, and one subway conductor, Reuben, he asked him, Swamiji, you look pretty old. Are you from India? What are you here for in America? He asked. Prabhupada said, there are many, many temples where devotees are beating mridangam and singing and dancing, and millions of books are being printed and distributed. And deities of Radha and Krishna are beautifully worshipped in the temples. And there are men wearing tilak and dhoti, kurta, women are wearing saris, and in this way, there are hundreds and thousands of devotees, he said. And that man asked, what are you talking about? Where are all these things? He said, Prabhupada, everything is there, only time will unfold. That he said. And actually, that means Prabhupada had a vision. And how did he envision that such thing will happen? Prabhupada said, because everything is inside the holy name. So he went to the park and he chanted the holy name. And when he chanted the holy name in the park, you know how people.
embodied spirituality, and his disciples wanted it. He said, "I will want some of that. Whatever it is he's having, I want that." So this is the guru. So many hippies were really in love with Prabhupada and in love with the devotees and considered the Hare Krishna to be the hippie religion at this point.
So you can see Prabhupada in the middle of the park, isn't it? This is how he started the movement. He went to the middle of the park. He saw, 1 year he stayed there to reach the holy name, but then people were not very receptive. Nobody was coming to his storefront. So he was wondering, what am I going to do? Then very desperately, helplessly, he went to the park. There's a tree in New York. He sat under the tree, just with a round, what do you call that, drum kind of thing. He was, bongo they call it, yeah, bongo. He was beating that and he was singing. Alone he was singing. Then many hippies came and joined. They started singing. They all brought their instruments and they came and danced also. And then when he went back to his storefront, they all followed him. They liked the mantra. So with that chanting of the mantra, Prabhupada expanded the whole ISKCON movement, which is a spiritual movement. So now I told you 2 examples. Somebody, in Hyderabad, there is one area where Infosys has 20,000 employees. They have made tall skyscraper buildings, big offices. That is material expansion. Similarly, Prabhupada made what expansion? Spiritual expansion. So he started the spiritual expansion with spiritual sound vibration. And you can do material expansion with material sound vibration, correct? With material knowledge. So there is a paravidya, there is a avidya. So paravidya is transcendental knowledge. So the transcendental knowledge and transcendental name with which the spiritual expansion takes place. So now I have come so far into this because I was telling you the story of how Parvati Mata gave the mango to whom? Ganesha. So in that pastime you saw he brought that Ramanam, is it not true? And that had, and both Parvati Shiva agreed that it has a very great potency. The holy name has great potency. So how do we know anything is holy at all? Like Ganga, how will you measure its holiness? If you have fever, you can put a thermometer below your tongue and you can see the temperature. Is it 102 or 103? What is the fever you have? We can check it. Or sometimes you go to Ayurvedic doctors, they keep your, they check your nadi, what is the pace of your nadi, they check it and they tell you whether you have some sickness or not, like that. Now, how something can be considered holy or not holy, how do we know that? One time, Shiva and Parvati conversation, Parvati asked, why everybody is glorifying Vrindavan so much? What is there in Vrindavan? Is it the Brajaraj is very special? Or the cows in Vrindavan special? Are the Kadamba trees very special? Or the Yamuna that is flowing there, is it very special? Are the gopis or the gopas very special? Or I heard that there is a Govardhan hill also there. Is it the cause of everybody glorifying Vrindavan? What is the most special thing in Vrindavan? She asked Shiva. So Shiva said, the most special thing in Vrindavan is the holy name which always is vibrated in the mouth of the Vajabasis. And that makes whole Vrindavan holy, he said. So even a rickshawala in Vrindavan, he will never say, hut. Like that he will not say. What he will say? So he said, that is Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, you can see that how everybody can speak like that. So he was telling, like Shiva said that, see, there are many rishis, munis coming and taking bath in the Yamuna, in Vrindavan. So there are some people go to holy rivers like Ganga, Yamuna to deposit their sins, and they make the whole river blackish. But then there are other saintly people who are very, very pure. They come to the same river and when they take a dip, it gets cancelled. Somebody deposits -5. When they come and they deposit +20, it becomes +15 now. The minus thing is deleted. When they come and take a bath, it becomes holy. And then naturally one may ask, how are the saintly persons holy? The saintly persons are holy because their lips are always decorated with the chanting of holy name. And their hearts are always decorated with the personality of Godhead. So like that Shiva said. The Lord is always in their heart. So Mukh mein naam, man mein naam. And heart mein kaam. do duty also. So you do your duty, but you always, His Holiness Navamitra Maharaj in Pune used to say, you would say that what is so difficult about the chanting of the holy name? The Matas have to do the chapati, Make chapati, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. They had to put it in the pan also. He would say like that. Isn't it? So he said it's so easy. You do your duty, along with that you also chant the holy name whenever you do your duty. So he was telling, then we are driving car, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And somebody said, Maharaj, if you do like this, how will the car go? It'll go like a snake. We turn it like this. Anyway, he used to sing one famous song about the holy name. So I memorized the song by hearing it from him. We can play? Yeah, ready with my man. हरि से बड़ा हरि का नाम हरे से अंत में ये निकला परिणाम अंत में ये निकला परिणाम हरि से बड़ा हरि का नाम हरि से जिस सागर को बिना से तुके फांद सके नहीं राम कूद गए हनुमान मोती में लेके राम का नाम हरि से बड़ा हरि का नाम बोलिए How many have understood the meaning of this? You understood it? Huh? What he said, Jis sagar ko bina setu ke paan sake. So Lord Rama was saying that please make a setu bandhu for me, so that I can go to Lanka. But what did Hanuman do? He said, Jai Shri Ram, he said, and he could jump across the ocean, isn't it? So what is the meaning of this? It's not that Ram cannot do that, but this is especially the emphasis is given to the power of the holy name. That means when one chants the holy name, humanly impossible tasks will become possible, which are very difficult, which we may many times think, I cannot do it. And then one can do something miraculously. Miracle. Like what Prabhupada did, how many of you think it looks like a miracle for you? Correct, no? Yeah, because he started with the holy name, isn't it? And then he's saying, O dil wale डूब जाएंगे जिन पे नहीं है नाम वो पत्थर भी तर जाएंगे जिन पे लिखा श्री राम हरि से बड़ा हरि का नाम हरि से बड़ा हरि का See, one day Lord Ram saw how the Vanaras are putting stones and it is floating. He was very taken by surprise. According to scientific phenomena, the stones are supposed to drown. It's not supposed to be floating. It's supposed to drown. It's supposed to sink. So Lord Ram thought, I also want to try putting a stone, but in case it drowns, people will laugh at me, isn't it? So he thought, I will do in the midnight. So when no one was around, Lord Ram took a stone and he dropped it in the water. And sure enough, it sank. And he heard a laughter. And he looked around, who is in the middle of the night is laughing? So Hanuman was hiding behind a tree. And he said, my dear Lord, if you give up somebody, they will definitely drown. We are able to make it float. How? Because you are putting your name. You see, in the Bhagavatam, there is one very good concept explained. If you take a stick and put it in a well water, will it float or drown? It will float. If you take iron ring and put it in the water, it will float or drown. But if you take iron ring and put it around the stick like this, and then you throw together, then what will they do? It will float. You can try that if you are doubtful. Similarly, what says conditioned souls are like iron ring. Like, why are we considered to be iron ring? Because we have many, many material desires, like iron, like material desires. So we get drowned. But pure devotees, like Prabhupada and Acharyas, they are like a stick who is floating in samsara. They don't get drowned in samsara. They are always above, isn't it? But if we connect with them, sayeva sadhushu kruto Mokshadvaram apavritam. It is said by our faithfully following their instructions, it's like connecting with them, and then you can also float. In the same manner, the holy name is non-different from Krishna. So when you chant the holy name, you are actually connecting with the Lord. Just like sometimes I used to do this in my school days, when I would drive a cycle, sometimes a truck or something would come. So I would hold on to the latch onto the back, correct? No? You hold one thing and then you can catch the speed of truck and you can go very fast. Although cycle cannot go so fast, isn't it? Similarly, the holy name is pure. When you connect to the holy name, then you can also float. That's what he's saying. Hmm. Uh, वो दिल वाले डूब जाएंगे जिन पे नहीं है नाम, वो पत्थर भी तर जाएंगे जिन पे लिखा श्री राम से। नाम वाले को चिंता रहती, नाम न हो बदनाम। See, who is Namwala? All of us have names, but we are not called Namwala for one reason. When you were born, did you take birth along with your name or name was given to you? Given to us. And on the first day when you are born, did you have a name? Generally they give name after 5-6 days. Correct, no? They don't give instantly. They wait and then they go to Guruji or somebody and then they give first 3 letters, Papa, some name, and then they get from there, correct, no? So, we are not born with the name, but Krishna, when he appeared in the jail of Kamsa, he was born with name. Because the name is given in Sandhya Upanishad. Brahmanyo Devaki Putraha Vasudeva. The name is given. Vasudeva's name is there already. So, his name exists before creation, before he appears in this creation. And his name continues to exist after he leaves the world and goes back to Godhead. That means his name exists always. Also. Therefore, what is his name? Namwala is called. He is Namwala. Whereas in this world, sometimes one of us may be called by one name by somebody and somebody else will call by another name. And some people change names also when they come to city. When they join a company, they give a new name, little stylish name, isn't it? One fellow's name was Padmanabhan. When he went to America, all his friends would call him Pad. Hey, Pad, come here. You know? Yeah, isn't it? Somebody's mother gave her name Lakshmi. When the girl went to America, she made it Lucy. People change their name in this world, isn't it? So our name keeps changing. When we die, we take another body, we may be in another gender also. So we get new names like that. Whereas when Lord comes, he comes with his name. Therefore he's saying, what is his fear? If somebody is calling my name and I don't respond, हमारा नाम का बदनाम हो जाएगा. My Lord is thinking, नाम वाले को चिंता रहती, नाम न हो बदनाम. द्रौपदी ने जब सभा में पुकारा, झट आए घनश्याम, हरि ते बड़ा हरि का नाम, हरि ते बड़ा हरि. See, he's saying, when Draupadi loudly called, how did she call? Actually, first Draupadi said, her husband, there were 5 of them sitting, correct, no? But they were all hanging their heads down. They were not even looking at her. So she understood that my husbands have not only lost all the wealth in gambling, but now they say they lost me also. None of them seem to be helpful. They are not going to protect me now. Then she thought, let me turn to the elders, like Dhritarashtra, or Vidura, or Dronacharya, such personal, Bhishma. They are all very, very powerful, big personalities. And even Bhishma, everybody was putting their head down. They were not able to say anything. She thought that if the elders can't help me, husbands can't help me, then who else can help me? Then she depended on her own power. She was holding on the sari and trying to protect her man. And that fellow Dushasana was dragging very powerfully. Then she bit the sari with her teeth. She tried with the strength of the teeth. And still, she was like a tender bird and he was like an elephant, mighty elephant. She understood my power is limited. I can't do anything. And helplessly, she did Sharanagati by raising her arms and what she called, Hey Krishna, Hey Govinda, Hey Gopijanavallabha, Hey Dwaraka Vasin, like that she called. Which means, Hey Krishna, Hey Govinda, who is protector of the cows. Hey Govinda, Gopijanavallabha, oh, one is the master of the gopis. Hey Dwaraka Vasin, She knows that Krishna is residing in Dwarka. And where is she? In Hastinapur. Hastinapur is close to Delhi. She is in Delhi in North India, and Lord is in East India. Sorry, West India. Lord is in West India, in Gujarat. Dwarka. So quite a distance, is it not true? Even we go by flight, how much time it takes? 4 hours at least? At least 2-3 hours, isn't it? It will make my day. So at that time, Lord was sitting in Satyabhama's palace with a big golden plate of varieties of prasad. He was about to begin eating. As soon as he heard that sound of her calling, because if he called the Lord with the holy name, he said definitely hears it. He heard it. He immediately moved the plate aside. And he stood up. Satyabhama said, Swami, why you are not eating? What is the matter? He said, Mamla, bada gambir mamla. Serious matter, he said. One of my devotees is crying and calling me. I have to go now. He just vanished from there. And there in Hastinapur in the palace, Asat Sabha, where Duryodhana and Dushasana, Karna, they were all laughing. Looking at Draupadi is going to be disrobed in the public. We will see her naked beauty. Dushasana was pulling. Krishna appeared there. Next moment. And then he supplied unlimited sari. As you all know. Therefore it is said whether she was Sarika Nari, Narika Sari. They thought it was like her whole body was made up of sari only. Unlimited sari was coming. Dushasana was wiping his sweat again and again, and after several minutes of pulling her sari like a mountain of sari, he fell unconscious to the ground. He collapsed. So this is Krishna's magic. So one thing you can understand from this pastime, the holy name acts like a spiritual mobile. Because she called in Hastinapur, Lord was in Dwaraka. Because you call a distant person using mobile. Whereas material mobile you use, somebody in America you can call, correct now? From India. In those days, when we had to make a call, we had to book a trunk call 3 hours before. Now you can just take your phone, you can make a video call, or any kind of call you can make through. So just as the material mobile connects two people in this world, similarly spiritual mobile connects Lord and the devotee. Another example is this Gajendra calling the Lord's name, isn't it? So Gajendra, actually Gajendra elephant, how many of you know about Gajendra elephant? You heard about it, correct? Yeah. This Gajendra elephant had actually forgotten the Lord's name. In his previous life, he was a devotee, King Indradumna. But he had forgotten totally. But he knew that there is a very great person. Any of you forgot someone's name? You know the person by face, but you have forgotten his name sometimes. You are just, whenever you meet that person, you are doing like this. Forgot. Once His Holiness Gopalakrishna Maharaj was telling, if you don't read Prabhupada books regularly, all your knowledge will go to the backside of your head. And then whenever somebody asks some questions, spiritual questions, you will do like this because here it has gone behind. But if you are reading books regularly, then all your knowledge will be right here. And as somebody asks a question, it will come out of your mouth. So you want knowledge here or behind? He was asking. So we have to read and keep regular touch with Prabhupada's books, he was telling. So Gajendra forgot the name, but then when he was caught by the crocodile, very firmly, he thought, I am the king of the jungle. Who is this tiny creature? He thought, I will just give him a kick. He just waved his leg, thinking I will throw him off. But it was not so easy, because crocodile was a creature of water. He was very strong in water. He caught hold of the feet very firmly. And Gajendra thought, I thought I can handle this fellow alone, but I can't. Then he looked around. Is there anyone who can help me? So there were also his friends, relatives, family members. Many were there actually. But they were all afraid to enter into water because they thought that this fellow got caught by one crocodile, we may be caught by another crocodile. We don't want to risk ourselves by going inside water. So they tried to help him by catching hold of his tail and pulling from behind. This fellow thought, what will you do by pulling my tail? Only my tail will come out. You can't help me, isn't it? Simply pulling the tail won't save me. Then he understood, neither can I save myself, nor can all these people save me. Then he understood. So he was in a traumatic position. Then he remembered the previous life. See, in traumatic situations, some people remember their past impressions. He immediately looked up at the sky, and all the devatas were hovering in the sky. They said, Gajendra, I think you are needing some help to be saved from the crocodile. He said, no. not from you guys. I only want to call that Supreme Person who is beyond all. He didn't know the name. Adimulame, Anitharkum Aparpata Parampurale, like that he called. So this is in Tamil. I'll tell you in Hindi, I'll tell you. I mean, in English, I'll tell you. He said Adimulame means, oh, the origin of all truths. The one Supreme Lord beyond all. I am calling for the capital GOD. And this, I don't want the small GODs. Because he said the small GODs, the small devatas, they can help me temporarily, But I want to call that Supreme Person who is the father of all creatures. Aham Bija Pradapita. So, although he didn't remember his name, he knew that he is the greatest person. Just like in India, there are many chief ministers, but there are how many chief ministers in India? 33, I think, is it? 32 or 33, I think. But how many prime ministers? Only one. Similarly, there are many devatas, 33 crore devatas. So the 33 ministers, we have 33 crore devatas. Isn't it? And there is only one Supreme Lord. So he said, I want to call that Supreme Lord. So he called. At that time, when he was looking up and offering many, many prayers, Lord Narayana came sitting on the back of Garuda, wielding his, disc and the shank he was carrying. And as soon as he saw him, the name came to his mind immediately. He said, Narayana, Akila Guru, Bhagavan Namaste, he called. So that verse is a very, very special verse. I'll tell you, it has a lot of very wonderful meaning. He says, Sontya Sarasturvalena Grihita Artho Trishtva Garutmati Harim Kavupata Chakram Utkshipya Sambhujagaram Giramaha Krichran Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste Narayana Kila Guru Bhagavan Namaste. It is said Sarasi means the lake. In that lake, Urubalena means very firmly. Grihita means captured. Artho means the suffering elephant. The suffering elephant was caught by his leg by a crocodile very firmly. At that time, he saw that Drishtva, having seen the Lord coming in the sky, Garutmari on the back of Garuda, wielding the disc, the Lord was coming. The beautiful Lord, with his beautiful mukut and kundal, bluish body like a bluish lotus. He was having four-handed form very beautifully. So at that time, Gajendra remembered his name. His name is Narayana. And then he said, Narayana Akila Guru, the spiritual master of the whole universe. Bhagavan Namaste. And also he thought, he's coming to my place. How can I, greet the Lord without offering him anything? Something should be offered. If somebody comes to your house, you make them sit in a chatai or something, give them some water to drink, give them some sweets or something to eat, speak some sweet words. He thought that, how can I not receive him properly? Then he thought, he looked around and then he got one lotus. He picked up the lotus and he rotated and offered Archana for the Lord. And the Lord was so pleased with Gajendra. He said, even in this precarious position, this elephant did not fail to perform his devotional service. I was just thinking, imagine if a dog catches our leg, how many of you think it's little difficult to chant the name? How many of you feel? Correct, no? First, what our mind will say? First, get rid of the dog first. Then we will touch the Japmala. Then Japmala will be here. You will be trying to get rid of the dog. Is it not true? And that fellow is caught by crocodile and he is rendering seva also. Not only rendering seva plus chanting holy name. He is doing archana also and he is also calling out the holy name simultaneously. While deity worship also, we should chant the mantras also. Along with mantra, we have to offer the worship. So Lord was very pleased. So Lord immediately sent the chakra and cut off the head of crocodile and delivered the crocodile. So somebody asked me, why Lord first saved the crocodile and not Gajendra? The reason is crocodile was catching the feet of a great devotee. Like the Acharyas have said. So those who are catching the feet of a devotee, they will be saved first. And then Gajendra was given a spiritual body. Vishnu was the form. And he was taken back to Godhead. So he was calling the holy names here. Whereas Lord was residing in Vaikuntha there. But how the Lord heard the sound? This is the point. Like in those days, if you tell somebody, I can say something in Bangalore, and my brother or sister in America can hear it, people will say, you are a fool, you are just fooling. Nobody will believe it. But now everybody knows. Not only you can talk to people, you can even see their face. Is it not true? See, in those days, in the early phase of the touchpad mobile and all came. So there were a group of people working on touchpad mobiles in India. At that time, I was seeing they had made this kind of this thing movement. They were saying, if we move this, move that, how things will come and all. So in those days, they were inventing. I mean, they were finding out. But now everybody takes mobile. You know how to swipe this, swipe that, and do this, do that. So many gimmicks people do, like Yogi Baba doing. Is it not true? So many things people do with that. Similarly, you can see that just as the material medium, mobile helps you connect with someone far away. So not only that, how many of you, when your mother or father talks to you on phone, as soon as you hear the sound, you can decode who that person is. Correct? And also, how many of you can see the form of the person? When you hear, correct, no? When the mom is talking to you, from her sound, immediately you can picture her as if she is standing right next to you and telling you. Correct, no? You feel like it. Similarly, when devotees chant the holy name, immediately the divine couple manifests, just like you see this Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Yeah. So as soon as you chant Hare Krishna, Hare means who? Radharani. Krishna means Krishna. So one immediately, I'll show you another picture. So this is my favorite picture. So when you say Hare Krishna, this is Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna means Radha and Krishna. So the supreme truth is one, but it has divided into two as Radha and Krishna. So Krishna is called Bhagavan, she is called Bhagavati. Krishna is called Swami, she is called Swamini. Krishna is called Shaktiman, she is called Shakti. So there is one verse which says, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Hladini Shakti Rasmat Ekatmanam Api Bhuvi Pura Dekha Bhedam Gatau Tau Chaitanyakyam Prakanamaduna Tadvayam Chaikyamaptam Radha Bhavadyuti Subalitam Naomi Krishna Swarupam. So this verse says, Radha and Krishna are actually one truth, but they have become two for a particular purpose. Some of the people ask us a question, Prabhuji, why God created all of us? And we have to go to school and write exams, and we have to go to company and earn money. And Mataji said, we have to go to kitchen and cook our daily thing. Everybody has given so much work. Why God has to create this world and why He has to put us in trouble? What is the very purpose of our existence? People ask. So for this, you should go to Vedanta Sutra. The Vedanta Sutra says, the absolute truth eternally decided that I will expand into various forms of my part and parcels, the tiny part and parcels, namely jivas, and I will also expand myself into my own Shakti, Shakti and Shaktiman, Shakti, Shaktimati or Abhedaha, it is said. Abheda means Shakti and Shaktiman are one, yet they have divided them into two for the sake of Leela and Rasa. Like you can see, now Krishna was, instead of being alone, he expanded himself as Radharani from his left side. So Radharani is expanded from Krishna's body, Radha and Krishna, and we are also expanded from Krishna's body only as tiny part and parcels like the children. Why this expansion is done by the Lord, I will tell you. Imagine there is a big zamindar with a big hall, 4 times the size of this hall. He has a big house, but he is the only resident of the house. Will it be interesting for him? No. On the other hand, imagine if the zamindar has a wife and they have 2 dozen children, small and big, all running here and there. Everybody, isn't it? All very colorfully dressed, of different age and, differently dressed, and they are all. So then the house becomes bustling with activities and becomes very enlivening and interesting. Is it not true? Yes. Like variety, yeah. Like for example, I remember when we would go to marriages in South India, children get to meet not only mother and father, they also meet uncle, aunt, dadaji, everybody. So there is a kind of rasa you get when you meet your relatives occasionally. How many of you feel some rasa, some joy of meeting them, correct? No, that's called Swargiya Ras, we call it. Swargiya Ras actually means emotional support. You get. Actually, they feel you are available for them and you feel they are available for you. It gives you some rasa. But in eternally, there is a Vaikuntha rasa, where the jivas connect with the Lord in different rasas, like a friend. There are friends of Krishna. Then there are gopis of Krishna. Then there are parents of Krishna, like Yashodananda and other elderly gopis and all. And then there are dasas of Krishna, who are servants. So in this way, the spiritual world is bustling with activity with innumerable jivas. And it is the original family. If you read the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that is the family, he says. Real family, eternal family, imperishable family, everlasting family. Whereas what we see in this world is simply shadow of that family. For example, once Prabhupada was walking the road with his disciples. He showed one shop. There was one doll of a girl, dressed in a textile shop. The Prabhupada showed and said, see, look at that girl. Will you look at that girl or a girl walking on the road? So his disciples felt a little shy to answer. No. And they told Prabhupada, everybody knows. Prabhupada said, but what is the answer? Then everybody said, somebody walking on the road. Prabhupada said, why? Both are girls. That is also girl. They said, Prabhupada, that is only a plastic doll, made of some fiber reinforced plastics or something like that. Whereas the one who is walking on the road is a lively personality. This is more attractive. And Prabhupada said, why? Because he said that is also that body is also made of some rubber or plastic or something. So this body is also made up of Panchamahabhut only, very similar substance. But the difference is, in this body there is a living spark. That makes it different. So what is attractive is not the body, but the living spark. Because their spark is not that, no, not attractive. But here the spark is there attractive. And Prabhupada said, if you take an aquarium, colorful fishes are moving, golden color fish, green color, red color, orange, different color, they're moving like this. And people sometimes watch it for even an hour. Very attractive, isn't it? Imagine if all those fishes are dead and lying at the bottom, will you be watching? So dead bodies are not attractive. Living bodies are attractive. So some boy was telling me, I think Prabhuji, the movement is attractive, he said. I said, even fan is moving. How long? Look at the fan. You just don't see a moving object. You are attracted because there is a living spark in those bodies. So what is attractive? And why is living spark attractive? Because it's a part and parcel of who is supremely? Yes. So it's supremely attractive and we are minutely attractive. So in this way, the spiritual world is filled with Lord Krishna, Srimati Radharani and all the Gopas, Gopis. So imagine if I am in a jail, people are walking on the road, but through that bars, some shadow may fall on the wall, correct, no? You see, some shadows are moving. Similarly, in this world, what you are seeing, people's bodies are like shadows only. But the real body is where? The spiritual world. Krishna says that in 15th chapter. Urdu Mula Madashakam. He says the real mango is in the tree, but what you see in the reflection water is also looking like a mango, but that mango cannot satisfy you, he said. That is like a reflection mango. Just like you go to somebody's house, in the showcase they have kept a plastic mango and plastic apple and grapes. You try it how it looks. So in this world, the body cannot make us happy. Like for example, imagine a mother may embrace a child or a husband may embrace a wife. Actually, if you see this in the embrace, if you see the body is sometimes having sweat also. Sometimes not so smelling well also. Therefore people put this deodorant and all they put. Otherwise the body is not very attractive. So when a person embraces, what is that which gives happiness to that person? Because anyway the flesh and bone is not very attractive. It's all filthy substance. So what is attractive is the spark of life. The spark of life which is spiritual and pure, which is a part and parcel of Krishna, that's very attractive. So the spiritual world, the jivas all delight and get more and more nourished by singing the holy name. When they sing the holy name, that's like the food for the soul. Where for the body, there is another type of food, correct, no? Just like, for example, a car, you have to put some food for the car. What is food for the car? The petrol, or the water in the radiator, or the air in the tire. This is like food. Similarly, in this body also we put air. We are also putting air. And you drink water also. And you put food for the body also. But driver, do you feed petrol to the driver? No, he has a different food. Similarly, just as driver has a different food, our soul has a different food. The soul's food is A, B, C, D. E. You all know that, right? A for like this type of association. So when you come together, hear the katha, what is getting nourished? The soul is getting nourished. Similarly, B, Bhagavad Gita study daily. Read 1 or 2 pages every day. See, chanting, chant the holy name. And also take devotional diet. What is the devotional diet? Prasad. And engage in seva of the Lord. Make some garland for the Lord, distribute some books for the Lord. So these things are going to nourish your soul and make the soul very strong. So just like your muscles can be made strong when you go to a gym or something, or when you do yoga. Similarly, soul becomes strong when you do spiritual activities. And especially the chanting of the holy name. It goes straight to the impurities in your mind and it cleanses the impurities. Shastra say that. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare. When you chant, what exactly the meaning of this Prabhupada says, you are directly addressing Krishna like Draupadi addressed or Gajendra addressed. You are addressing Lord and saying, oh my dear Lord Krishna, somehow or other I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please purify me, pick me up and elevate me, accept me, and put me back in your abode where I can eternally live with you and render seva to you. So that kind of prayer is the chanting of the holy name. Just like, for example, somebody says you're chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. How do you say it is purify me, pick me up, accept me? How do you say that? You see, when a child is calling, he makes sounds. And the child doesn't have to speak much to the mother other than make kwa kwa. Correct, no? If somebody says, like, child said kwa kwa, how do you know your child is calling mother? Somebody say, mother will say, what a fool you are, you don't understand. He's calling me only. The same manner, you say, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. That's like kwa kwa of a child. See, as soon as child calls quack, quack, immediately he gets the breast milk of the mother and then the child is nourished. Correct, no? Similarly, when we chant the holy name, immediately the divine couple are listening to the holy name and they feel that, oh, this jiva is struggling in this world. And the struggle is mainly because the soul is wrapped by one mind and body and which are impure. The mind has some impurity. So let us cleanse the impurity in the mind, just like taking a wet cloth and wiping a mirror. When you wipe the mirror, then you can see your face very clearly. So the Lord is the one who cleanses the heart. When He cleanses the heart, you feel very light and very calm. Your disturbances go away. You feel peaceful by such chanting. Jannama shruti matrena puman bhavati nirmala. Nirmala it becomes. Just like you see this Vicks vapor advertisement, you must have seen. You've seen that? When you apply in the chest, one boy comes from a school and there is a heavy rain on the way. Like that he is sneezing, isn't it? And mother takes him and then takes some Vicks vapor and puts in the chest. Chest and everywhere in the throat. And then what happens? When the Vicks vapor is applied, there is some kitch. You've seen that? That's like some demon or something. Like that he comes. And then that fellow is getting troubled. Who is troubling him? Vicks vapor, isn't it? And next day morning, what happens to kitch? Goes off. Similarly, in our mind also is doing well. What are they? It doesn't lust, anger, and greed. And how do you apply Vicks vapor? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. That's what we are exactly doing. And it is going to remove this impurity from the mind. It will cleanse the mind. And you may not even know how it is done. You may not know, but you just keep doing it. You will see a big difference. I know many of my friends in college, how the cigarette smoking and drinking, drugs and all bad habits evaporated in so many of my IIT friends I've seen. But what the holy name does is a miracle for us. It's like a magic. It's like a magic wand, we can say. Mrigari. He was half killing animals and eating. Narada Muni gave him the holy name. Later on, he became a pure devotee, chanting the holy name. Even hippies, they were eating cow flesh. Now they're not even touching onion garlic. Amazing, no? They were drinking liquor. Now they're drinking cow's milk now. Just see how many of you feel it's a radical change? Is it not true? Huh? And that magic was brought about by what? Ah. So when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in this world, what does this indicate? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching that this world, Kali Yuga, this material world is like a vast ocean, you see. And chanting of the holy name is like a boat in which they are all peacefully dancing and singing, and they are all gradually going to cross the ocean and go back home, back to God. So, but you have to board the boat of the holy name. So, Krishna, Krishna. So, you all made an observation now. So, Lord is glorified by japa and also by kirtan also. And the kirtan is done with instruments, you saw? Multiple instruments. And also, when Lord was going in the street, he saw there was one farmer who was working in the field, correct? No? Lord brought him out and made him dance, which means Lord wanted to teach the world that this kind of chanting holy name is for one and all. You don't have to be a rich man. You don't have to be you don't need any qualification. Then there was a fruit seller, correct? No? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought him and made him dance. Sometimes the dancing is done in front of the deities. Sometimes the dance is done in the roads. But even when you do in the road, you know the deities are following you. Wherever you go, they are watching. Like Jagannath, Brother Subhadra, and the Vishnu form, and Krishna form. In all these forms, the Lord's eyes are constantly watching the devotees. So in this way, Gaurnitai, they performed Sankirtan all over India, and they propagated it. One time when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to a place called Jarikanda Forest, along with his assistant Balabhadra Bhattacharya. This is mentioned in the Bhagavatam and the Charitamrita.
Here is one of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, who lived around 500 years ago in India. One day, Lord Chaitanya and his associates set off early in the morning for the holy land of Vrindavan. They walked along the forest paths and through the Jarikanda forest, which was full of wild and dangerous animals such as tigers, elephants, snakes, and so many more. But Lord Chaitanya walked through there without any cares or worries, simply chanting the holy names of Lord Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
As Lord Chaitanya was walking along, deep in thoughts of Lord Krishna, he unknowingly stepped on a tiger that was sleeping on the path. The tiger woke up. "Oh no, now we are finished," thought his friend Balabhadra. Lord Chaitanya spoke to the tiger and said, "Why are you sleeping? Get up and chant Hare Krishna." The tiger got up and amazingly started chanting and dancing, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Balabhadra was astonished to see this behavior. Another day, while Lord Chaitanya was bathing in a river, a herd of elephants came charging into the water. The Lord splashed water on the elephants and asked them to chant Hare Krishna. When the water touched their bodies, the elephants began chanting, Krishna, Krishna. Some of them danced and others called out in great joy. Balabhadra was amazed to see this miracle. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya's sweet singing would attract the deer in the forest, and they would follow him. One day even tigers joined in the party. Lord Chaitanya inspired all of them to chant Hare Krishna and dance together in ecstasy. Balabhadra was struck with wonder. How was this possible? Wherever the Lord went, all the birds, trees and creepers became jubilant. Lord Chaitanya is asking all of us to join him, to chant and be happy, just like all the animals in the Jarikanda forest.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See, Lokanath Maharaj was telling, when they were going in Badrinath, Kedarnath, those areas, they were going by walk. Almost 20 miles they walked. During the time, when Harinam Sankirtan was going, one dog followed them. Maharaj was telling, it was so attracted to the devotees. And devotees would halt at one place to take prasad, the dog also would halt there, sit down. And they would get up and walk, the dog also would exactly walk with them. The Harinam starts, it would be standing right next to the Harinam singing devotee and walk with them. So the other dog's friends, they were saying, hey, why are you going with Harinam? Come with us. They were calling, they were barking and trying to come and pull him. So then the dog made friendship with one of the elephants, which was also going in the procession. So whenever anybody would try to chase him, he would go next to the elephant, and the elephant would take the trunk and like that he would do. And the other dogs would run away. So this was dog was very smart dog, and he was going like that. At one time, the dog got hurt in the leg. So it was limping like this and walking. So devotees picked up the dog and kept in the bullock cart, which was also going in the procession. Because there, the people had kept their luggages in that. So they thought the dog can sit. But the dog would jump off the cart and walk still. Because he thought all the devotees are walking, how can I sit comfortably? So it was walking with them several days. So after walking several days, and Maharaj was telling, at one point of time, the dog left the body, and devotees wrapped the dog with Harinam Chadar and fed it to the Ganga after that. And then everybody sang Hare Krishna, he was telling. So Maharaj was telling, sometimes somebody in animal body may be a great devotee also, because some mistake they committed in the previous life due to which they get animal body. But the holy name is so powerful that even after they have left the body and come to the next life, still they remember the holy name from the previous life. That attraction is deep rooted in the soul. So it continues. There is one lady in America who has got Alzheimer disease now. You all know Alzheimer, right now? She forgot everything. She doesn't even know her name also. She cannot recognize any of her family members. So there is a video I don't have right now with me. In that video, you will say that only one thing she remembers is Hare Krishna mantra. She can chant the whole mantra, she can chant. The moment you say Hare Krishna, she will chant the full mantra. So I heard that she was singing like this, chanting like this, and she left the body later on. So in this way, the Mahamantra which she heard and which she was chanting before, the Alzheimer disease could not make her forget the Mahamantra. That's the greatest miracle, isn't it? So how could Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu make the animals chant and dance? Prabhupada says the calling of the holy name is natural propensity of the soul. Bhagavad Dharma, I was telling you. The Bhagavad Dharma has two main things. The difference between Asuras and Suras I told you today. But one difference you cannot understand often is between the pious people and devotees. Especially in South India, which category of people are most? Here people are so pious that in advertisement billboards, you will find women like goddess of fortunes, all wearing sari with Jarigai Kanchipuram silk saris. And all the pose giving women also will be neatly dressed in the advertisement billboards. You don't find them like in other places you find. Huh? So there is a lot of piety, people going to temples, ringing bells and putting chandan, kumkum, taking children to the temple, and it's a culture. Marriage anniversary day, people go to temple. Birthday, people go to temple, isn't it? So the culture is very strong in South India, but there are some very important differences between someone who is pious and someone who is spiritual. And that's the concluding part today. I want to speak in 5 minutes. I will just make a table and show you. You will appreciate this point. What is the difference between pious person and devotee of God? Who is SPOG? Yeah, no. It was different this thing. And How many of you know Navavidha Bhakti? How many of you know? Have you heard about it? Very good, yeah. Yeah. Now you got the whole thing now. You can consider these things when you go back. Huh? It's homework for you to go through. Huh? And if you have any doubts, you can ask Rajachari Prabhu and Rajakrishna Prabhu, they can explain to you. Mhm. Okay? Yeah. Actually, I'm supposed to speak on this, but I also spoke on the holy name more. But this is one very good subject to discuss and understand. So in South India, many pious people are there. I will not speak on this. I will tell one short story, very short story, 5 minute story, and we'll conclude the talk. And that will take care of all these things what I told. See, once in the beginning of Kali Yuga, Narada came here to this earth and he went around and he saw Kumbh Mela, 4.5 crore people. He said, "Kya baat hai? Is it Satya Yuga or Kali Yuga?" He was amazed. Yeah, then he went to Badrinath, Kedarnath, lakhs of people there also. He went to Rameshwaram. There he found also lakhs of people going to the ISKCON Tirth, correct now? Taking bath in the waters. Wherever he went, he saw huge crowds of people. So then immediately he became thrilled. He flew to Vaikuntha and told that Narayana, "My dear Lord Narayana, I brought a good news for you. Although this is Kali Yuga, I am finding huge number of people, so sincere, so serious. All are calling you. Therefore, I have come to ask you, for how many people can you give Vaikuntha passport and visa so that they can be brought to Vaikuntha?" But Narayana smiled and said, "Narada, how can I deny anybody who is brought by you? And you can bring as many as you wish. So I grant you freedom. You decide whom you want to bring." And Narada was so jubilant. He thought, "I'll take millions of people with me because people are so enthusiastic." So when he came down, he went to all these places and made an announcement that I'm going to Vaikuntha. Who want to accompany me? Many people came forward, apparently very enthusiastically. They said, "I really want to come with you. Once my daughter is married, I can come." One fellow said. Another fellow said, "I really want to come with you. My boy just finished his BTech. He has to get a job now. Once he gets placed in a job, then I can come." One fellow said, "See, my son's daughters all are married. I just want to see one grandchild come, that's all. I will take him for a little walk. Then I can come with you." Everybody had some reason for that. Somebody said, "I just want to come. Only the house I'm constructing is about to complete in next 6 months. I'll just complete the house and stay for a short while and then I can come with you." Everybody said some reasons. Narada was surprised, right? These guys are coming to holy place and praying to God, and why are they not accompanying me? At last, one fellow enthusiastically came running to Narada and said, "I am ready to come with you." At least Narada thought only one face at least I should show to Lord. Huh? And Narada said, "Yes, come, immediately we can leave now." He said, "Wait a minute, I'll just go home and pack my luggage and come." Huh? And then he asked, "What is the program? When are we coming back?" He asked. Narada said, "Coming back, yad gatva nani vartante." He said, "Oh, then I am also not coming," he said. I can't leave and come, everything. So then Narada understood, these people are not spiritual people. These people are pious people. The pious person goes to God to make his material life better, for material improvement. Whereas the spiritualist goes to God, like, when a devotee comes to temple, he thinks, who is, who is Krishna's mother? Who is Krishna's father? Who is Krishna's dear animal? Which river is very dear river of Krishna? Which mountain is very dear to Krishna? What pastimes Krishna plays with Yashoda? So in this way, their central subject of discussion is about whom? Therefore, they go back to Krishna. And a person who goes to temple and says, many people close their eyes because they have to remember the list. You know, what all I have to ask the devatas? Huh? I have to ask this, I have to ask that. Many people, like in Pune temple, I saw some small little girls of second standard at come with white and blue uniform. I asked, oh, little children, you all come every day? So I gave them cookies and a card. They said, uncle, you don't know today is our exam, therefore you have come. You're saying, huh? They were surprised. How do you think we will come to temple without a reason? Huh? There is some reason. But those who are devotees of God, they simply want to love and serve God. So when Prabhupada saw the Christians in America, they were saying that, oh God, even we were singing in convent, very fervently we'll call, oh Lord, like that they were saying, hallowed be thy name, give us our daily bread, like that they were saying. Huh? So Prabhupada said, see, you are a bread-seeking religion, we are a bread-giving religion. Yashoda is calling Krishna, hey, Kana, come here, take bread and butter. Huh? She's feeding. So we want to feed the Lord. We don't want to ask the Lord. We are a giving religion, not a asking religion. Huh? Somebody may ask, if you don't ask the Lord, then you don't want anything. We don't have to ask Him because He takes care of us without even asking. Like a small kid doesn't bother about whether winter is coming, how will I get my sweater? Who bothers about it? Parents. The Lord takes care of devotees. Huh? So devotee has that staunch faith. So all of you think about these things. Huh? When you go back and maybe another class, when any one of them, when they come, they can speak more on this. Huh? But this Bhagavata Dharma was not known to Yamadutas. Huh? So they didn't know the glory of the holy name. Because that's one thing I have not written here. The Bhagavad Dharma is practiced. Navida Bhakti and chanting of the holy name. Hmm. So they were not aware. By chanting holy name, you can directly go back to Godhead. It's like a one stroke method. Hmm. See, I have given here. It's like climbing staircase I have given, no? Here, what the opposite of that is what? This path is like lift. Lift, which takes you straight. So you want to lift or you want to go by stair? The past times you learn are Bhagavad Gita, correct, no? You're learning. So you will learn more. Prahlad, Dhruva, Ambarish Maharaj, everything comes in Bhagavad Gita. So you will learn more nicely. Hmm. Basically, the difference, Bhagavad Dharma is like the stem of the tree. All other dharmas are like branches of a tree. Huh? So similarly, Bhagavad Dharma is a soul's dharma. Every other dharma is mental dharma or bodily dharma. Huh? You all are very fortunate because you have come to this place where Bhagavad Dharma is being taught here, practiced here. This is like, you have a embassy of the spiritual world. From here, visa will be, passport will be issued for you to go to Godhead if you come here regularly through the chanting of holy name. Adnam Prabhu ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much. 5 minutes, I can take questions. Because I'm supposed to finish by 7, I think, isn't it? It became 7:20 for them. Any one question? Anybody? Yes, Maji. Loudly, please. Mic works? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the class. So my question is this pious person is not a step between material and devotee? Like if we have to become devotee, we should be pious first, and then
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Like Ajamila was very pious, correct, no? And initially, so he comes from a good family, and that was even Krishna says, Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yoga Brashta Vijayate. Krishna says that if you're born in a Brahmana family, you get good sanskars. If you're born in an aristocratic Vaishya family, like Agarwal, Bansal, Goyal, in their home also they have this Radha Krishna deities. They have their worship and all. It's very good. What you said is true. Piety certainly helps. But sometimes piety can be a great enemy also. Because what happens? Here are 2 points I've written. If you see, they can become complacent. Here you see one word I've written. Complacent, here is proud. If a Sattvaguna person becomes complacent, he goes to Tamaguna. Complacent in pious activities and can become lazy, because how many of you have seen pious people over a period of time, like boys who are doing Sri Sandhya, morning, afternoon, evening here, when they go to America, they completely give it up after some time. They become complacent. They are simply happy that I have a secretary, I'm born in a Brahmin family, that's enough. That's why they don't do it. Similarly, they can become proud that, oh, I can chant the Vedic mantras with very nice ucharan, Spashta Sanskrit. Like I remember we used to chant this Rudram as even kids. Namaste yas Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayam Bhagayatre Varantagayatri Kalagni Kalaya Kalagni Rudraya Mrityunjayaya Vishveshwaraya Namaha. And while chanting, we'll slowly open one eye and see who is watching, who is appreciating. So many times, many children are taught shlokas to memorize 9th chapter, 12th chapter, 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, correct, no? Actually, they narrate all the slokas, but they are not taught the meaning of the slokas. They are not taught how to become devotees in pious places. So in childhood, we may memorize many things, and when we grow up, we become charmed by the glitter and glamour of the material world. We have seen it happened, even boys, girls also. We have seen that. On the other hand, if one is trained as a proper devotee, a devotee gives the heart to Krishna. That's the definition of a devotee. Devotees are those who are given their hearts to Krishna. Therefore, they say, I lost my heart in. Yeah. So, we are not just superficially taught to memorize slokas or to, do some rituals. Spirit plus ritual is. If I ask you, please bring Bisleri bottle. If you give me empty Bisleri bottle, I'll say, I asked you for water, you are bringing Bisleri. But you never told water, Prabhu. You only want. So, bringing only empty Bisleri bottle is like ritual. But bringing it with water is spirit plus ritual, correct, no? Right? So in piety, what misses? Spirit. So in the Bhagavad Dharma, the spirit and ritual both are there. So what you said is true. Piety is helpful. It can be a good springboard to jump to spiritual. It can be very much. Prabhupada said in South India, especially Prabhupada glorified South India very much. He said the Westerners and Mughals, they came to South, but they couldn't spread as much as they spread in the other places. In the South, Prabhupada glorified the Sri Vaishnava and Madhva and Shankara and all these groups of people, they very staunchly follow. Even today, going to temples and cultural festivals and everything. Prabhupada said that, therefore in South India, our preaching will be taking great effect in future, Prabhupada predicted. Because the piety is a very good platform to elevate a person. Provided he is not proud, he is willing to listen to Krishna's devotees and accept this path, then they can flourish. On the other hand, if they are proud, if they reject their devotees, then they can't advance. Prabhupada said Indians are this close to Krishna, Americans are this far from Krishna. But the problem with Indian is he's this close, but he's like this. And he is going towards the west. Indians are flying to America, and the Westerners are coming to. So they are far away, but at least they are in the right direction of coming towards India. How many of you have seen Western devotees settle in India? Have you seen that? Many. They love India and culture and everything. But Indians, majority of the most intelligent fellows are all going away like this, going far away. So, of course, but Prabhupada said if a pious person in India, instead of madly going towards Western culture, he just takes about turn. Somehow by good fortune, immediately gets Krishna. Correct, no? Instantly he can get. So who is that category? All of you are in that category. You are from India, but instead of going like this, you are coming like this. So the distance between you and Krishna is very less. You can very easily come. Provided you don't give up. So this ISKCON is like a ship which is taking you back to God. Don't jump out of the ship. Just remain in that ship. Lift also. If you're going in the lift, don't stop the lift somewhere and say, I want to try out what is in this floor, let me check. Huh? Then directly come to first floor. So I will say this and I will. One more question, yeah?
One more question.
Here, the two hands up, yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thanks for the class. Prabhuji, you mentioned Narada, he went to Narada who was enlightened.
Correct.
So when you say someone is enlightened, how do you define someone is enlightened? Because in India, if you see many people say I'm enlightened. Everyone wants to become enlightened, but I fail to understand what is enlightened. How do you see someone as enlightened?
Enlightened person is one who knows who am I, who is God, what is my loving relationship with God. So this is a devotee of God. And a jnani is a person who knows I am not the body, I am spirit soul. And the spirit soul is the driver of this body. This is preliminary knowledge. At least this much a person should have. He's an enlightened person. He begins with, I am not the body, aham brahmasmi. They chant like this. I am not the body, I am spirit soul. But Prabhupada said, okay, you are spirit soul, but you should act on the platform of spirit soul. Like you join Infosys company and say, I am computer science engineer, I am computer science engineer. They'll say, yes, we agree with you, but do some work. Yeah. Similarly, aham brahmasmi, you are Brahman, you are not the body, so you do some work on the platform of Brahman, soul. That is devotional service. So, jnani is the preliminary stage of enlightenment. And bhakta means it's a ripe stage of enlightenment because you know who am I, who is God, what's my loving relationship with God. You know all those three. Then enlightenment is considered more ripened. Otherwise, the common mass of people, they all think I am the body. And they think, you ask any college boy, why are you studying? I want a job. Why do you want a job? I want money. Why do you want money? I have to put up a family. And after that, what do you want to do? Just eat, drink and be merry. And then what do you want to do? I will die. Where are you going? I don't know. This is the mass of people. So they are ignoramus. They are only earning an ignoramus degree, doctorate in ignoramus. Ignorance. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. The first knowledge is, I am not the body. Vimudha nanu pashyanti jnana chakshusha. Krishna says, jnana chakshus versus mudha. Mudha means it doesn't know about what is soul, how the soul enters the body, how it changes from one body to another. No knowledge. He is vimudha. And jnana chakshus means he can clearly see. At the time of death, the soul comes out covered by the mind, and the mind carries sugandha vasanas and durgandha vasanas, karma vasanas. Accordingly, it goes to a good body or a bad body. So I should be very careful about what karma I do. This is the enlightened person. Krishna says that. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. It was a very nice class. One question I have is that generally we have a saying that one can only go to a dham if Bhagavan allows.
Yeah.
So in that case, many times we see that we all go to some great spiritual place like Tirupati or Rameshwaram or Kasi, but we come back and we again go back to the same life. So if God's mercy is there, then why do we end up going to the same ways?
Because when you go to dham, there is a rule that you have to meet saintly persons and sit down and hear from them. You know, in South India, there is a rule. When you go to any temple, you should not leave immediately. You should sit down. Why it is that you have to sit down? If you sit, at least something will go in when a saintly person is speaking. And that may, create some awakening. One nice thing you heard about God, that will kindle you the inspiration to come again. So when you come again to the temple, then you will grow very fast. So going to holy place creates some punya, surely. And as the punya becomes more and more ripe, a stage will come when you will want to listen to saintly persons. And when you hear from saintly persons, you become more enlightened. And then you become more and more, then you take to the spiritual practices more seriously. Now many people go to holy places like sightseeing. And that doesn't help. Like for example, one fellow said, Prabhu, I strictly follow Ekadashi. I fast on Ekadashi. I said, why? I want to clean my system, he said. So his goal is what? Just to keep the body. That much benefit only he will get. No spiritual benefit. If somebody says, I don't eat anything on Ekadashi day because I want to chant more rounds or I want to read more Bhagavatam, hours and hours, then he'll get spiritual benefit. So when somebody is going to Holy Dham, ask him, why are you going? क्या करे प्रभु जी, बच्चों को छुट्टी हो गया, समर वेकेशन आ गया, थोड़ा घूम कर आते हैं. Then how will they get benefit? So we have to see the intention behind the action. Clear? Yeah. Like you all are coming here, this is also a holy place. Why this is holy place? Because here the holy name is, like Shiva told Parvati, correct, no? Any place where the saintly people have the holy names in their mouth, that's a holy place. So Prabhupada actually took flats and made it into holy place. Prabhupada said holy place means 5 things, he said. Krishna Darshan, here you have Krishna Darshan. Huh? And then Krishna Bhakta Sangha, you have this Bhakta sitting and teaching you Krishna Bhakta Sangha. And Krishna Shiksha, are there Prabhupada books available here if they want? See, the cartons are there. Krishna Shiksha. Huh? And Krishna Naam, do they teach you chanting Hare Krishna? You take Japamalas and you chant. And last is famous one, Krishna Prasad. You have Prasad here always? Yeah. So wherever these 5 things are there, that is a holy place. That's how this place as Sarjapur has become holy place now.
Prabhu, do you have time for another question?
Okay, one last question.
Okay.
Okay.
I had a question around how do I control my senses?
Yeah.
It's becoming very hard for me. I forced myself, but not able to so far.
Yeah. Very easy. See, with your senses, you should do what is most. I'll just send it, Rajak. I'm just sending this file so that in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says 4 verses on this. He says, Kada samharade chayam kurmongani vasarvashaha indriyani indriyartebhyas tasya prajna pratisthita. Arjuna, the first step in controlling the senses is to restrain them from flowing in the wrong direction like a tortoise, he says. Like a tortoise takes its head and hands and legs inside. And when enemy comes, shows the back. Even if you hit hard on the back, nothing will happen. Similarly, he says that, for example, you're walking on the road, your eyes are going to see some cinema poster, which is a obscene poster. Immediately, you turn your face away like this. Huh? You will take your eyes away, he says. Similarly, you are going in the train, somebody is selling pakoda and bhaji. The smell is coming. Your mind is saying, oh, I want to buy and eat it. But you know very well, this may be made of recycled oil 20 times. Huh? So if I eat that, I'll get stomachache. So you know the consequence. Immediately, you turn your attention to something else, you don't buy it. You withdraw your senses. Correct, huh? In this way, Krishna says, like a tortoise, you withdraw your senses. Therefore, we have those 3 monkeys. Buramat deko, Buramat suno, Buramat bolo. The first thing he teaches. And then he says, this you cannot do for a long time. After some time, the mind will cry because you are suppressing. So then he says, all of you repeat this. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita mat paraha pashehi yasyendriyani tasya prajna pratisthita. Not only you withdraw your senses, you also engage your senses, he says. How? For example, if you, one example I'll tell you. You know, this Bhima was sent to go to Bakasura with a cartload of food, you know. So that time when Bakasura came, he was shocked to see this Bhima is eating the cartload of food. He was eating the food. And the Asura shouted, hey, that is for me. How are you eating? And as he went near Bhima, Bhima gave him a punch. And the Asura toppled and fell far away. By the time he would get up and come, Bhima would eat more. Again, he would give a punch. Similarly, what Krishna says, take more and more Krishna consciousness and get the strength to control the senses. Like that he says. Because the more you take in Krishna consciousness, your energy level, spiritual energy level increases. Then with that you can control the senses. And by the time again the sensual attacks come, by the time you become more Krishna conscious. So that's what yukta asita matparaha, he says. So, and the third example that Prabhupada quotes in one of the purports is that, you know, the serpents are dangerous only as long as they have the tooth, poisonous tooth. Correct, no? So that tooth of the serpent carries poison, yeah. Similarly, in our senses, what the dangerous thing? The bhogavritti. You know, the bhogavritti is, like you can see in some lorries, they write, no? Puranatar bala tere mukala and all, they write like that. You've seen that? Because don't look at, you know, people with the Bura nazar. Correct, no? So in the same manner, our like our tongue wants to taste food which is not offered to Krishna. Eyes want to see obscene pictures. And ear want to hear passionate music. So as soon as you hear passionate music, your body starts twisting like they do break dance, isn't it? Isn't it? So it arouses passion in you. So how to control the senses? So Prabhupada gives example. There is snake charmer. What he does? No, 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 no. He plays. You've seen that? He plays. When he plays that, then wherever there are snakes, there was one of the government buildings in North. One snake charmer was called. When he played, a dozen snakes came out, and they all came in front of the charmer and they start dancing also because they get like completely absorbed in hearing the sound. And when they come and they are dancing, he will pick them up and open their mouth and pull out the teeth. And then the tooth will be thrown away. Then the snakes are no more poisonous, no more dangerous. You can even wrap them under your neck or body. They can't do anything to you. Even if they bite you, it won't harm you because it is removed. Similar Prabhupada said, what is this snake charmer's device? That is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So when you chant more and more, the senses lose their propensity to commit sin. The tendency. How many of you nowadays you feel more guilty when you approach wrong things? You feel, correct, no? Like one boy was asking Radha Gopinath Prabhu, Prabhu, in those days I was doing anything I wanted. Now when my friend is calling, come on, let's go. I immediately ask him, where? If you say cinema theater, no, I'm not coming there. If you're calling me to temple, I will come. Somebody comes and gives you, come on, eat this. What is this? Is it prasad or not? Prabhuji, I have become very sensitive. Telling. And he said, Prabhu, before, I used to mix with so many girls. Now I'm sitting in the bus. If a girl comes and sits next to me, I'm little alert. Because purpose is honest avoidance of opposite sex. So I'm very careful that I should not even touch them. Because they belong to somebody else. They're somebody else's wife. I'm more alert. Radha Gopinath Prabhu said, you see, don't worry about your having become alert. He said, because the more the dhoti is whiter and whiter, if you put a black spot, it will be visible. On the other hand, somebody is wearing a lungi, with multiple colors. You put one black spot, nobody can see it. He said, before coming to Krishna consciousness, your consciousness was like a buffalo. So you were so dull, so many bad things you did, nothing entered, you never felt any kind of conscience. Now that you become purified, even small mistakes you do, it appears very glaring for you. Which is good or bad? That means super soul has become awakened. Super soul is giving you guilty feeling. Hey, don't do this. This is wrong. That means you are becoming purified. So remember these three examples: the snake charmer example of chanting Mahamantra, and the tortoise example, and the three monkeys example. Correct, no? So in this way, and also Bhima example, how Bhima take more and more Krishna conscious nourishment like you have come today here. And then you can keep your senses under control. And then Rishikena, and the last example is Ambarish Maharaj. There was a king called Ambarish. What he did with all the senses, he engaged in Lord's service. Morning he went to the temple and cleansed the temple with his hand and saw the deity form of the Lord with his eyes, heard the kirtans and lectures and tasted the prasadam with his mouth, used the leg to walk to the temple. Like that, you can also, our children put up a song in Pune. I use my eyes to see Krishna, see Krishna, see Krishna. I use my eyes to see him. I use my ears to hear about Krishna. Like that, you do a dance also. So, in this way, use all your senses in relation to Lord Krishna. By doing this repeatedly, the senses become purified. And the purified senses always love to chase after purity. And the impure senses like to chase after impure things. Right now, our senses are semi-pure, partly pure, partly impure. But if you increase the pure engagements, then the impure part will be nullified. Clear? Thank you. Very sincere and good question. Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki